Do you find you post on LinkedIn, but your content is getting really bad performance and it's not generating you any inbound leads? If this is you, you're going to want to watch this episode because I'm going to take you through my copywriting tips to help you generate 6 figures worth of deals from inbound leads. My name is Katisha. I'm the founder of the Be Known Academy, and I'm a personal branding LinkedIn coach that's had the honor of coaching hundreds of people across 40 different industries. If you're new here and you haven't already, please send me a connection request on LinkedIn. I would love to connect with you and let me know how you're finding this YouTube channel. Before we dive into the copywriting tips, what I want to actually talk about first is the 3 different types of content that you need in order to grow your following and generate those inbound leads. So the first type of content that you want to be posting is what I call personal storytelling. So personal storytelling is allowing you to share stories around potentially your business, your career. It could be something personal about your home life in order for people to feel connected with you. I've spoken about a variety of topics, anywhere from doing 1 year dry, from doing, for those who don't know what that means, 1 year of no booze and alcohol. I've spoken about mental health. I've spoken about business failures, all different things that are relevant to my audience that has allowed them to connect with me. That type of content really builds your following because they're typically your highest performing post in terms of a virality perspective. From there, you also want to post authority and value-driven content. So that could be you sharing an opinion on your industry. It could be you sharing tips and advice on certain topics that's relevant to you, but it's really letting people know that you are an expert in your field. When you pair those 2 things with the third style of content, which is your social proof content, which could look like anything from client testimonials, it could be case studies, it could be you speaking on stage. Those 3 types of content is your winning formula to generate inbound leads. So now that we're really clear on the 3 different types of content you want to be posting, the next thing that you need to be really looking at is your actual copy itself. This sounds dramatic, but your copywriting is the difference between you landing a new client or not. Because if your copy is really bad, people are not going to read and engage with it, and they're just going to scroll straight past. Sometimes I hear people complaining, saying that LinkedIn never works for them, but then I take a look at their LinkedIn content and straight away I can pick up reasons why their content isn't performing. By the way, if you're loving these videos and you want to get some more advice or you want to hear from me more regularly, please use the link below to register to my mailing list so that way I can keep you up to date with LinkedIn's latest insights and can share value through to you that way. Okay, so let's get into the copywriting side of things. There's a few key things that I want you to be really conscious of when you are creating your content. The first thing is going to be your hook. So with your hook, that's the first 3 lines of your LinkedIn post. I want to say 3 lines, not 3 sentences. So what I mean by that, and I'm going to show you some content just to give you an example. Beautiful. So if we have a look at this post here, my first sentence sits on the first line and it's got, I was able to increase my revenue by 55% in the last year. Then on the second line, there is a gap, there's nothing there. And on the third line, I've got, because I have spent 5 years swallowing my pride. Now, by spacing out that content, it makes it really scannable when somebody sees it. This is really important because people scan before they read. Just like that land, they scan before they read. So if your content is in a big fat paragraph and it's not skimmable, people are going to scroll straight past because unfortunately we're lazy. And if it's hard on the eyes to read, we're just going to go straight past it. So you need to make sure you break it up. With the hook itself, there's a few other things that I want to share with you, which will be really helpful for you to make sure that you're stopping the scroll. Where possible, use numbers. I know that isn't the grammatically correct thing to do, but instead of spelling your numbers out, I want you to actually write them how they are, because visually it grabs people's attention. I want you to use the words you or your where possible, because what that does is it makes the content look like it has been addressed to one person. So as the viewer reading it, it sounds like it's been written just for me. And the way you can get into a really good flow of starting your content with a you or your is to write your content as if you're writing a letter to a loved one. So for instance, I might say, "Dear Mum, did you know that there are 1 billion people using LinkedIn, but less than 1% actually post?" So that is using a you and your. Just make sure that you remove the dear mum or dear whoever from that before you go live. Your hook is 80% of your content. And what I mean by that is if somebody doesn't have a strong hook on their post, it doesn't matter how good the rest of your content is, people are just going to scroll straight past. So if you're finding that you are getting poor engagement, have a look at those first 3 lines and make sure that they're really scannable and capturing people's attention. After your hook, you've then got the body of your content. And like I mentioned before, you really don't want to be posting big fat paragraphs. So if you are doing that, you need to break it up. You can do that by doing a few different things. You can use shorter sentences, or you can bullet point form your posts. So you can use numbers, you can use arrows, just whatever you do. Don't use that big hyphen that ChatGPT uses, because otherwise if people see it, they're going to assume that you've just copied and pasted your content from an AI source and it'll just feel not authentic. So make sure you remove that and use perhaps an arrow or numbers to list your points in your post. That's the body. Now, underneath the body, you've got the very last few sentences of your content, which is what I call either your call to action or your call to engagement. Your call to action is allowing you to direct traffic through your sales process. And you can do that in a couple different ways. It could be asking people to join your mailing list. It could be telling people to send you a message or go to your website or join a masterclass. But you want to make sure it's very clear to them what that next step is. Your call to engagement is encouraging people to leave a comment on your post. Now, there's nothing more infuriating than seeing a really good piece of content on LinkedIn, but they don't have anything or given you any direction around what to actually add to the post. And so you're just sitting there thinking really hard, what can I comment on this post? And 9 times out of 10, if it takes longer than 10 seconds to come up with a good comment because you don't know what to say, you scroll right past. So make it easy on your readers, please, to add to your post. So for instance, if we have a look at this one here, my call to engagement on this post was, when have you sacrificed in order to reap big rewards down the future? And you'll see here there were 57 comments of people sharing stories about all the cool things that they have done in order to get ahead in the future. I will share with you this post over here. This was a really great post. This was one of my social proof posts from August. So here you can see all the different wins that my clients had in the month of August, which was amazing. And on this social proof post down the bottom, my call to action was enroll in my 90-day Dare to Be Known program. And you can come join the rest of the cool cats that are winning on here. And then I've got a link to my program. And while we're here talking about it, if you are interested and you are really vibing with me and my coaching style, come and check out my 90-day Dare to Be Known program. In there, you get access to all of my resources and training, as well as I run a live group coaching call once a week where you will get specific feedback from me personally, showing you exactly what you need to do or change with your LinkedIn in order to generate you more leads and sales for your business. So if you want to enroll in that, find the link below to go and check that out. To summarize what we spoke about in this video, it's really important that you do these 3 key things. 1, you have a really strong hook on your post to stop people from scrolling straight past. 2, you have the body of your content really well laid out with either short sentences or you've got bullet point form for people to be able to scan your content, because remember, they scan before they actually read it. And thirdly, that you have a really strong call to action or a nice and easy call to engagement to encourage people to comment on your posts. I am filming this YouTube video September. And as it stands, what I have found over the last 3 to 6 months is my content that is going really viral at the moment is not necessarily the content with the most amount of likes. It's the content that's getting the comments and getting comments quickly. So when you go and create your content, I want you to really think about what is an easy call to engagement where it would be very easy for somebody to comment on your post, because that is what's really supercharging my content at the moment and sending it to go viral. So please keep that in mind. For the next episode, I am so excited because I'm going to be taking you through how to generate a lead magnet that will help you to build your pipeline. One of my lead magnets generated me over $200,000 in sales, and I'm going to be mapping out and showing you exactly what I did so you can implement that for your business as well to help feed your pipeline and generate more revenue. See you on the next episode.